The views and opinions expressed on This Cant Be Adulting are solely those of the host and do not represent or reflect the views of any individual, organization, employer, or entity we may be affiliated with. The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised. Yo, welcome to This Cant Be Adultin, the podcast where two guys who probably should have it all figured out absolutely don't.
Careers, money, relationships. No one handed us a manual, so we're figuring it out the only way we know how, with real talk, deep dives, and a whole lot of laughs.
I'm Herb.
And I'm Derek. And if you're out here wondering, am I doing this right? Trust us, you're not alone.
So hit play, relax, and let's figure this out together. Yo, welcome back to This Can't Be Adulting, Season 2, Episode 4.
You struggled with that one.
Also called Episode 27.
Herb and I was just having a debate on what episode this is. And while technically Herbert is correct, it's episode 27. It's our 27th episode we've ever recorded for this podcast.
Agreed.
However, I wanted to remind him that we have two seasons. Season 1 had 23 episodes.
Okay.
We're in season 2 now.
Yes.
So this is our 4th episode of season 2.
Yes.
And so we're both right, but I'm more right.
Yeah, so drop in the comments. Please take a poll. Is this episode 27 that you would agree with, or is this season 2, episode 4?
Both are right.
Yeah.
Both are right.
We're saying the same thing.
I'm okay with that. I don't know why I like the idea of seasons. Because we revamped it a little bit, right? We changed this all up. If you watch all of season 1, we're in a completely different stand.
I do like this now.
You know what I mean?
Chapters almost. Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
see, this is why we had a podcast where we speak, and sometimes I'm slow. Sometimes I'm slow sometimes.
I didn't say
But
that.
once I hear everything, all the information, then it'll click. And I'm
It clicks a little bit. It clicks a
little bit. Okay, welcome back. Season 2, episode 4. Thank you all.
Baby, gang. We had a couple of technical difficulties on our last episode. It never ends.
I did not learn Mandarin.
Herb and I have been flirting with outsourcing our editing out, which I think we really finally need to do. But it also comes down to the time it takes for us to shop people, that's the wrong word, interview people. And you know, the days and the weeks are smacked. So it's like, when are we going to take time to find somebody?
Well, Derek is just more liberal than I am. Me, I just like to keep it in the house. I'm American. No, I'm saying.
That's a good one.
Just kidding.
That's a good one.
JK. No, we actually need to.
No.
We'll take some help.
Yeah, we can take some help. And it's not even
help.
because we don't know what we're doing. There's just little details. Sometimes you're tired at the end of the week when you're doing the editing, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last episode, we had that weird cut.
Yeah.
Have you watched it on YouTube?
You saw that.
There's a weird cut that the video and the audio don't catch up in the middle of it. Yeah. And then the volume was way too high.
Which is not normal, considering myself, at least.
Yeah.
Not from my side.
So, like, when we were yelling and laughing, that shit would hurt your ears. So we apologize. And,
you get it real here. This is what adulting is about. It's not perfect.
It's not that,
if you come into this podcast for
put
perfection, keep coming, but still, it's not going to be perfection.
Way to bring it back.
Authenticity, Derek.
It is authentic. What I've been preaching this whole time. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, thank
You're right.
you.
All day.
All right.
I love that. But anyways, how we been since the last week? Has anything happened in the world since the last week?
Oh, let me think. Not much. I guess I did bring it up to you before we started. Derek might be a little sad over here. One of his favorite politicians is no longer, or I guess change her role. She's not. She's still employed.
Stop making this shit.
She's still employed, but change her role.
Fuck Christy Nome. Fuck
and,
her.
You know, we're recording just hours, I guess, after the announcement.
Yeah, after the announcement just made, and you know, just the whole war we started and created, and
yeah, just a little bit about that.
Just a little bit.
Well, it's not. No, Derek, stop. It's strategic strikes. It's not a war.
Exactly. They started it, right? They started it.
They were going to start it.
They were gonna start it, so we had to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta strike first. Yo. You about to get out. If you out there on 6th Street, right, and you see that I'm about to get the tussling with somebody, you need to strike first.
You need to punch him in the mouth first.
Yeah. See, if you was out there about to get the tussle, I'm like, I better strike first because they about to jump on my ally over here, and Derek really control me. He got the blackmail. He got the pictures on me. He gonna drop my files.
So I better strike first.
Exactly. We're
Coming in with the bombers too.
we talk about all this, all blackmail, all that. I hope you guys know Herb's being sarcastic, right? Hope you guys catch that.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, he's really good at that. But that had us kind of thinking about like, all right,
Yes.
what should we make today's episode about? And I think one thing, because obviously y'all, if y'all have been faithfully watching, listening into season 2, you know that we try to take a topic and we try to talk about how we related to it, understood that certain thing growing up,
Right.
versus how do you manage that certain thing today as an adult.
There we go.
And so what we wanted to talk about, given everything going on in the world today, is just news in the media in general, and how we were brought up to understand the news in the media, what I thought about the news in the media versus what it's evolved into today.
Yeah.
And how do we manage it? Like, how do you manage that? How do you deal with it mentally? What do you take? What do you not take? What's your quote unquote rituals or your routines? What kind of media do you watch? Why do you watch it? Figured it'd be a good, healthy conversation to talk about, especially as we're 40-year-olds still trying to navigate this fucking world, and the news is a big part of it.
No, I think so. I think you're absolutely right, especially even considering like we kind of joked about, Christy Nolan being fired today. Just in how we got that, it's almost, if you kind of look at the story, and maybe she knew before, but she was giving a speech as, Trump released the post that, she was, change of roles while she's giving a speech. And it's like, she probably didn't even know, but we get it instantaneous. So people are in the audience able to look on her phones because of the way the news works now.
Yeah.
And see that this person has just been fired and she's up here giving a speech. Like that's wild to me. It's just so funny, but different than when, in the 90s, if this were to happen, we wouldn't have known until afterwards, and then we had to wait to either.
So let's bring it back. So let's talk about Let's talk about Lil Herb.
Yeah.
Growing up in rural Arkansas.
Yeah.
And how did you relate to the news? What was your idea of the news? What were your parents' ideas of the news? How did this all work out?
They still watch the news, like the local news. Like my mom.
Local news was big.
Yeah. Like my mom, like she, I have YouTube TV. She uses my account to watch it, but it gives the local news of Austin. So she has the antenna on her phone, so that on her computer, so that she can still watch a digital antenna, so that she can still watch the local news. And I'm like, So growing up, that everybody watched the news. Like it was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like you watched the news.
That was
10
the
o'clock
thing.
news. You were watching the news.
Did everyone take that as gospel?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like what else? You had the news and you had newspapers. Like those are two media, I would say, avenues of receiving media. So all you had was the newspaper and the news, but like there wasn't like, you couldn't get online and do no own research. So whatever they gave was the gospel. I had no way to do the facts. I don't know what's going on in Kuwait. You know, they just told us we were in a war, Cold War.
And so we took that as gospel.
Yeah, Desert Storm, wherever it may be. Yeah.
It was trustworthy back. At least we thought it was trustworthy back then, right?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in Arkansas, like and you like in the local news were like celebrities.
Yeah.
Like growing up. So I could just even think like the guy used to, or he still may even do like the sports, Steve Sullivan was like, oh, if you were like, I want to see Steve Sullivan, I want to be on the news with Channel 4. That's where it was in Arkansas. So with Steve Sullivan, like that type of stuff. So I feel like that's all you had in the early part of the 90s. And then we spoke about a few episodes ago about getting cable, and when that came on, like the CNN and you had Fox News, and you had different like your own news, like because there wasn't a lot of political news on just the local channels.
Good point.
So then that's when we like in the late 90s start getting these political news channels, and that was like, oh, that's kind of different. Like, now you're getting a different specific type of news, and I think that changed. How about yourself? Was it kind of the same experience?
Yeah, I would say it was the same experience. You brought up a very good point, because I didn't even think of that, because yes, back in the day, well, it was more interesting for me because my parents are from Colombia.
Yeah.
And so Spanish was their first language, so
Right.
a lot of what we had on were the Spanish channels.
Was it like local news or
Univision, and it wasn't local news. It was actually world news. It was more Colombian news, Mexican news, a lot of Mexican news. From what I remember in Univision is stuff that we were very privy to. There was this news, and for all my Latinos, you probably know this. There was this news show on Univision called Primer Impacto. So it was called Primer Impacto, First Impact. That's what it was called. And that used to give all like the hot news of stuff going on in the world and all that stuff. So that was very big. But to your point, the local news was super important, and it wasn't very political. Yep. It was just literally riddled with this robbery happened.
That was all about violence. Especially in the 90s?
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s. Murder, homicide, kidnapping, murder, homicide, kidnapping, drug bust. Murder, homicide,
different.
crack, kidnapping, drug bust. Like that was all we saw on the news and in sports. and the media route, I guess.
And I think, and again, this is part of why a lot of the times when we've been having these discussions around our episodes about certain things, I'm always asking about what about the culture? What about the culture? And by the culture, I mean, the news, the movies, the shows that we watch.
Yep.
What is that all? That all molds us and teaches us in a certain type of way. And in a way, it's kind of indoctrination if you think about it. Yeah. It's kind of what modern society is trying to tell us indirectly, or more so directly, how you should think about certain things and certain topics. And I think the news media did that a lot locally for me, because it made me think that I lived in a very bad neighborhood. I lived in a very bad city. I need to be scared of this part of town. I need to be scared of that part of town. It's a little fucked up now that I think about it.
I was gonna say, can you think of any like news stories back in the day that like had the impact on you? Like, oh gosh, because
locally or just in general?
Locally.
I'm trying to think something locally that really hit. Nothing really comes to mind, because it was all very much just like straightforward. I think a lot of what I remembered, though, was about a particular place in Providence that there was always news going down, and it was Broad Street. If y'all remember Broad Street all the time, and my parents would be like, don't go out on Broad Street. Don't go to those bars. There's always a shooting. There's always a stabbing over there, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I got older and went to those bars, and it was just like, just mind your business type thing. You know what I mean? But that really stuck to my mind. I don't remember like one particular incident, but like just overall thinking in my head, like, I can't be going out on Broad Street in Providence. But you asked me that because I'm assuming you got a story that came to mind.
Because it reminds me, I remember growing up, and it was at a softball field, a girl was kidnapped, Morgan Keys. Yes. And it was like the first time, like it was so large on the news. It's like this girl went to a softball game, got kidnapped in the parking lot, never was found. Oh shit. Never was found. And it just created like this awareness around like kidnapping. I just remember like, I feel like that was the turn of being able to like, I don't know, like going out and just being like a kid's just running wild, and being like my parents being like, beware of strangers. Like that type of thing was like really, really preaching at that time. And I remember just like playing baseball, like growing up playing baseball like at a young age, and then like going to cousins' games and stuff like. And it was like this, just the awareness, and like just you could see the frantic on the parents, like now like watching over the kids. And it was like, dang, that was like a huge news story. And it became like yearly. That was like they created like some alert, but like this,
the 90s changed a lot the culture of allowing your kids to be kids.
Yes.
And I think we were one of the last generations.
Definitely.
The Zennials, right? Because that's what I was talking about it with somebody today. 1980 to 1985 is technically millennial, but they do call people born in those years Zennials, which is a combination, a blend of Gen X and the millennials.
Yep.
And I think that was genuinely the last generation of kids that really got to go out and play with kids.
Play outside.
Now
kids.
you think about it. Now, when everything you were born past that, parents started becoming helicopter parents, and I think it was because of what you were just saying. This was the news was becoming very national. It wasn't just locally.
Yep.
And so now it was like, this happened here, this happened here. So you're like, oh, this isn't just happening here, it's happening everywhere. Maybe this is an epidemic that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Kids are being kidnapped. If you think about the shows that came out, too, you remember Unsolved Mysteries?
Hell, bro, my mom loved that.
Oh, man, my mom loved it, too, bro.
She still come to my house and watch Unsolved Mysteries. Maybe you can solve a mystery.
Yes, I used to watch all the time. Now, funny, not funny thing, but not ironically, this is the reason why I come out. The guy on the show, the producer, the host, and correct me if I'm wrong, we'll look it up to correct, but I was reading this recently. His son got kidnapped in the 80s, and I don't think the crime was ever solved, so he started the show Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
So I'll confirm that. Don't take my word as gospel, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But like, those things in the media shaping, it made it seem like everything was bad. Now, the reality is what happened in bleeding into the 80s and the 90s, locally and politically, the crack epidemic.
Yes.
They were, literally the FBI and the government was throwing crack cocaine into black neighborhoods, right? Yeah. Joe Biden, fuck that motherfucker. The crime bill of 1994.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, the 3 strikes and all those types of things, like the
Mayor Bloomberg in the late 90s. What is it? Stop and frisk.
Yep.
Stop and frisk.
All
right?
those types. I mean,
all that shit started really
in the South,
coming
they
up.
didn't have no law. It was just straight like, yo, you already understood. That's the talking to. Like, you don't have any rights out here. Like, you already know.
That's crazy. And it all changed around that time we were growing up. So I do believe that a lot of that had to do with just the way the media shaped it. The problem was back then is that I took media as I took the news as gospel. I was taught if it's on the news, it's been verified, it's been checked, you can trust it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was taught the whole time. So I was like, oh, this got to be true. This got to be true. And it was like all this indoctrination. Now, granted, compared to today, I do think that there was a little bit more integrity in media back then. I don't think full
Yes.
integrity.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I know there were
Yes.
some bad actors,
Yeah.
but there was a bit of like,
There was a level of decency standard.
there was a lever. Yes.
Like you had to have like, even if you were exaggerating or stretching, it wasn't just a bold-faced ass lie.
Right.
Like nowadays, they'll just come out and tell a lie, or even just very, very misleading.
Very misleading.
Very misleading.
And,
maybe like
and the biases are crazy. Now, granted, Fox News existed, right? CNN existed.
Oh, yeah.
But even again, Fox
Yes.
News back then, again, this goes back to the decorum that you and I were talking about around politics. Like, at least we had some level of decorum in 2012 during the Obama and Romney presidency.
had to be PC.
At least.
Had to be PC, and somehow we made being PC this negative connotation, and all PC is saying like, if you're going to communicate, you got to be able to communicate effectively and be like, we're not going to scum to the lowest forms of communication. Like nobody would dare get on there and just start. Like it's just so funny now. Like President Trump curse and stuff at in some of his interviews and meetings and stuff like press conferences. That was not allowed back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like Obama wore a tan suit and like,
They were freaking out.
What about like they were freaking out over this and like now all of a sudden like, oh, we don't want to be PC. We got to get rid of being PC. And it's like, but why? Like why can't educated people communicate in a highly effective way or leaders be able to communicate in a highly effective way of just normal humans be able to communicate and not have to succumb to like the lowest level of communication? But
I think we can agree it's all devolved, politics and all that, and that obviously media it's a big portion of it.
Yep.
But again, going back to just growing up, like I remember it being like very like if it's in the news, it's been verified. These people are professionals. Biased or not biased, like at least they're playing they're good faith actors.
Yeah.
And that's what I always believed.
Yep.
Oh, where did you hear that? Oh, I heard on the news. Oh, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's then.
What about papers, like newspapers?
Yeah. Newspapers. I used to not like sit there and read newspapers, but they were very popular at the time.
Yeah.
We had the Pawtucket Times where I grew up. We had the Providence Journal. Those were the two biggest
We had the two.
newspapers. So I actually remember 9/11. I kept the front page of the Providence Journal, the Pawtucket
our
Times.
local. Yep.
I
Arkansas
kept it for a
Democrat
while,
Gazette,
and then, to be honest with you, now that I think about it, oh no, I had it probably up until like I left college, and then I had it like stuffed under my like a bed with a bunch of my like high school reports. Anyways, it doesn't matter, but I lost it. But like, it was very common to look at the newspaper and be like, oh, maybe I will read a newspaper story here.
It just even come full circle to the day. I remember when President Clinton was elected back in 92, 92, right?
94.
94. He
No, 92. I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry, 92. You're right.
going like soon as that happened, my mom was going to the. I mean, this is when you had to go to a store. There was a newspaper, machine. You put the little quarters in, you open it up, and you're supposed to only take one. Going and just like taking the newspapers, and they had them underneath like or somewhere in their bedroom. Now they still have them.
Yeah.
And it's like just newspapers, but it was like, it was again reading. If it was in the paper, if it was on the news, it was gospel. It was verified. It was fact.
You were trustworthy.
Now
The other big piece here that you were talking about before was you had to wait for a certain time for the news to come on.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah.
And even though news was more accessible in the 90s with TV and the national news, there was no 24-hour news cycle yet. There was none of that. So you had to wait, and so there was less overwhelm as well.
Yeah.
And I think with the less overwhelm, it gave us our bodies and our nervous systems time to react to certain stories and then maybe be ready for the next one. And
Or
that's
even
not the
gave
case
them
anymore.
time them to create the next stories and verify and
verify.
not have to be first
There
to,
it is.
to it. And
There
now
it is.
it's like, oh, we got to be first.
We got-
right or wrong,
there
got to
it
be
is.
first. And it's like being right is devalued.
Tertiary. It's not
all
even
of-
secondary anymore. It's a tertiary
it don't even
priority.
matter. Yeah, it don't have to be right.
It's about being first. It doesn't
And
matter
that's
if
it.
you're wrong.
And not
But
only
it's
that,
crazy. You
and
just
I can get it to you right now.
Light bulb.
And it's like, man, maybe we do need time to sit back. These stories are complex. There are a lot of different nuances to these big news stories. Maybe let's do some investigative journalism and verify it, as opposed to nowadays. It's like, I mean, hell, you can have a closed doors hearing and have a politician send something to a content creator, and they're gonna leak that. So it's
They're
like,
gonna leak that.
this is where we're at now, and it's just kind of like, Man, I
It's
mean, we
nuts.
just go back to like how we got back here, how we get here, and the fact that like now we do have like I mean, I guess that's definitely the cons. The pros, I guess, would say like now we can get all the news if we seek
all
it,
of it, everywhere, all at once.
right and wrong.
Yeah.
If we seek it, it's up to you to kind of.
Yes, there's a level of we're the most informed and least informed society civilization's ever had.
That study's gonna be great in like 400 years, and they look back on man in 2026. Let me tell you what this one country named the United States did.
Well, I just think it's all Western society in general too. I think we're the worst actors, 100%. But
Ooh.
I
Okay.
think it's just Western society too. I think Europeans, I mean, it's the same thing too. I mean, everyone's got that. Not everyone, but most people have the 24-hour news cycle, and most people
Yes.
get caught with some bullshit with the lies. I forget what I was gonna say now. Shit. But I think the reality is that a lot of what has changed has been the introduction of social media.
Yes.
And so now anybody can be a
Or
news
just the
anchor.
internet as well.
Well, the internet as well. But I think
Technology.
social media
Yeah.
gave people, while yes, you could
Oh, yes.
Google shit, you could type
Yes.
shit, but like
Yes.
social
I see what you're
media
saying. Yeah, absolutely.
really gave information to people's fingertips.
Yeah.
And now, similar to how we took shit as gospel back then,
Yes.
they take everything they see
Opinions
as the people.
became gospel.
There we go.
And
There we
before it was like stories were gospel, but at least these were, again, stories where now I guess it's just passing. I mean, I guess maybe that's the evolution of gossip, but like, yeah, opinions became gospel, and that's where we're at right now, where it's like, yeah, that's not a good place to be. Facts don't matter.
It's part of a master plan too, and we can talk about if you want to make
come
this a
on now.
conspiracy theory now, but like
Yeah.
the reality is, it's funny that I actually called it the master plan. There was a podcast that I listened to last year at the end of 2024 called Master Plan, right before President Trump got elected, dictator Trump, and it's by this independent news organization called Lever Time. They do real great investigative journalism that's only funded by individual supporters like myself, you, blah, blah, badass. And it was a 10-part series about how did we get here with respects to conservatism and how the influence on the courts, particularly the Supreme Courts, came into play. And part of that was the takeover of media.
Yeah.
Part of that was when Robert Koch bought Fox News, when XYZ bought CNN, and they started going into
Ted
different
Turner,
sects and stuff like that. And it's I'm not even going to just say super interesting. It's terrifying because this has been in play for like 50 years. When they started realizing, if we can control the media and the narrative, we can control the masses.
Well, I think that's always been the case. What was the?
I think it's been the case, but I don't think it's been the case at this level, at this grand of a level. I think yes, people to a level understood it, but like again, it was never this bad. Yeah. When the real powers that be were like, okay, with my money and power, I can really control. Yeah, I can control things locally. Everything was very local. Everything was very local. One of the biggest problems going on right now with the Trump regime is that they're allowing the monopolization of news organizations.
Yes.
There were laws in place that said you cannot buy certain local news stations, and now Fox is like, I'm going to buy you, I'm going to buy you, buy you, and buy you. So news stations had independent autonomy.
It goes back to our conversations a couple episodes ago where everything is being purchased by just a few companies, and they're not only, they're controlling everything from the news cycle to the foods that you have access to the type of technology that we're going to put in front of you. And it's only, 8 companies that's controlling everything. So everything's becoming like a plutocracy, and I guess in a sense where it's just like only a few people are going to own everything, and everything's being monopolized.
You control it. You control that narrative.
Yeah.
So question for you. Do you remember when you started realizing, oh shit, like I can't trust everything I hear on the news or anywhere like I thought I could when I was younger? Do you remember a time when there was that, oh shit, this clicked?
I don't think, man, this is going to sound very, I guess, recency bias, but honestly, bro, like 2016 changed. Like, my man, coming down that escalator, like 2016 really changed. Like, wait, and I guess that's when social media was also coming. Like, once we really didn't have a way of, I don't want to say verifying prior to social media, but you didn't, I guess they did the editorials and you hear corrections every, blue moon on the news, but like it wasn't like it is now, to where, like, again, it's instantaneous. These opinions, like, after 2016, it just got to where, like, what is going on? Come on, like, I thought we had common decency. I thought we had, like, we all could agree on certain aspects, and now, like, even those
We could
things,
agree on facts, and have a good foundation. Just a foundation.
Yes, facts did matter.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they may be lying, but once the facts come out, like, people was held accountable to a degree for those facts.
We can always argue whether anyone's ever, certain people ever, but
at least had to admit to it. Like, Clinton got found out that he was having an affair. He had to admit to it. He smoked weed. He had to admit to, like, smoking weed in college, which he had no way of verifying that. You think Trump gonna admit to something like that? So, like, it's like nowadays, it's like the facts don't matter. The facts don't matter, and that's just scary. That's scary. And I guess what I asked this is, how do you think, now that you've gotten older, how do you even go about ingesting the news and deciphering, and navigating the news?
It's been really hard because I needed to shed a lot of social media because of the shit that I was seeing on there. Because shout outs to my boy JP, he had a great line that he said to me before. He was like, back in the day, everyone had the village idiot.
Yes.
Right. There's the village idiot who would go on Times Square and he would just yell the dumbest shit, but everyone would be like, "It's a village idiot," like whatever. Now every village idiot has a platform
that the other village idiots,
and it can get together. Yeah, can get together with all the other village idiots all around the world,
and put these hats on,
and then start a Reddit string or whatever the case is, and go crazy.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of that online. There's a lot of that on social media. So I had to get rid of that.
I was gonna say, but why do you think that? It would seem that there are more, you would like to believe, and maybe this is where I'm seeing it with, rose feathered glasses or whatever, rose colored glasses, whatever. You would think that even if all the idiots got together, it's still a lot less of them than what we would deem to be the, not smart people, but just the sane people. And just be like, hey, these guys, even though it's a group of them, they're still idiots. But now I feel like we don't.
Here's the thing. I think you're underestimating how many idiots there really are out there. And, that's no disrespect. It is disrespect to a lot of them, because I do want to slap a lot of them because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the right terminology, the scientific terminology is ignorant. There's
Okay,
a lot of ignorant people that literally don't know
Just don't
any
know
better.
They don't know, yeah.
And at the very least, before, because we had decorum, they were like, oh, you know what? I do believe this, but I don't feel comfortable saying it because it's probably not right, so I'm not going to say it, so I'm going to fall in line.
Yeah.
But now they're feeling bold. They're emboldened to be no. Now I can stand on business with this now. Because now I got a whole community that's going to back me up, and it's not going to make me look stupid. So I think there's a lot more of there always has been than we really, really realize.
I feel like, and I can even just see them saying, like, these. It's so funny that, like, we have this picture of this people in our mind that are on either digital or even people we actually know, but, like, they're gonna call, quote unquote, us the sheep.
Right. They will.
We're the sheep. We're falling in line. We just fall in line. We're going along with the propaganda, and it's more like, no, we just civilized.
Yeah.
Like, this is civilized. We understand the value of, I don't get to dictate everything, and because I don't like something, don't mean that I just throw my hands up and just, sometimes I have to do things. There are things that I'm not gonna agree with, but I understand that's what it is.
Right. For a functioning society.
Yes. Now it's like, if I don't agree with it, and it's a deal breaker. I can't even non-negotiable, and it's kind of like, what?
And again, based off of zero facts, right? Like,
oh,
not even off of like a foundation with facts. Like, it comes down to also the media has done a very good job nowadays.
Yeah.
From the introduction of social media to where we are now, to really divide us, really manufacture chaos, manufacture rage.
That sells.
Because that sells, and that's crazy to me, because if that is your end goal, that's it. It's just to sell. Because that's the other big problem, is that media is now, it's all about capitalism.
Well, yeah,
it's all about money. It's all about ads. How many eyes
can
you get on this?
Even when you look, whether that's CNN, Fox, and ESPN, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, these are entertainment. They're looking for ratings.
Right.
They want viewers' eyes, and it goes back to even the social media. Their whole agenda or incentive is to keep
viewers' eyes, locked
onto their content.
So my question is that how it should be?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. This is not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. And I guess that's my point too. Like, yes, they're just saying, wait, we need to make money, blah, blah. But like, we've lost
They don't
this
even wanna say
idea
that.
of unbiased,
What do
truthful
we-
storytelling.
Yes. What do we owe to what level of what do we owe to civilization? Like, what do they owe to civilization to be like, hey, like,
Right.
like facts again?
Right.
Tell them the truth.
Tell them the truth.
And quote unquote, I mean, we are living in the most transparent administration ever.
This guy.
Again, but still, but like, if you have to say it, that even let you know.
But like that's the crazy part is that, and that's really what this all comes down to. Well, no, it's part of what it comes down to. It's really a monetary perspective. Absolutely, we know that money makes the world go round, and that may be a good thing sometimes. It might be a bad thing sometimes. I think a lot of times it can be a bad thing. But I'm not here to, spout that money is the evilness. Money can do evil things and can turn people evil. But that's what it comes down to. It's like, it's just about eyes right now.
Yes.
It's just about getting us out there. To your point, I have to be the first one as opposed to the right one.
Yeah.
Because if I'm the first one, then
don't
I
make a
get
stone.
praise and people are going to come to me first because,
Yeah.
this person's going to know
Yeah.
first. Because people, it's this primal instinct that these, I don't want to call them geniuses because they're evil geniuses, that these leaders of news organizations and leaders in any other way that play behind the curtains, the massive puppeteers, are playing to the psychology of humans.
Absolutely.
Are playing
That's
to
what I
our
was gonna-
evolutionary instincts and
yeah.
going, I'm tapping into this now that I realize this, because this is going to amass so much money. This is going to allow me to control in some sort of indirect ways.
Yes.
And here's the reality too, is that because news, at least for a while, and I'm not talking about whether it was always right or if there was no bias, of course not, but it was a lot less back in the 90s, 80s, 70s. You got to admit that at the very least.
Yeah.
And so people just turned it on, like we said, and we would take it by gospel. And so you have those people, and so these news media organizations understood that, and they're like, if we start slipping lies in there more and more, slipping up, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're not going to go find someone else necessarily. And there's always this topic of like, I love to say this, but I understand how hard it is. That doesn't make an excuse, but like, go do your own research. Like, go find someone that you know is trusted, that you know is, it doesn't matter if they're biased. Like, if you're left-leaning, like, you're going to listen to left-leaning people, but at least as long as they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like, just be truthful.
Yeah.
Like, I follow many left-leaning political commentators that I know call out other left-leaning politicians and other kids because they're like, no, I don't care if I'm left-leaning. I agree with this person most of the time, but this person's fucking wrong here.
Yeah.
They did some fucked up shit.
Yes.
And so it's easy for me to say that as a single man and no kids and not married. Like, I got the time. I got the time to curate what is right, what is wrong. But to tell, and I'm not saying, again, it's hard to be telling a single mom of 3 who's working 2 jobs, hey, you got to go fact check this. You got to go make sure this is this. I think there's a responsibility, but I can understand how can that be hard. I can understand, and the news medias understand this. They know this. They're like, these motherfuckers are too exhausted, so whatever we feed them, they're going to eat.
I think it's almost a level of over content in the sense of like growing up when you didn't have it at your fingertips. Even if you saw something on the news, it was a clip. Even if you read the newspaper, you were only reading, at the most a page or a page and a half, a section. But you still had to go back out and keep living life. And there was almost this level of understanding that even though you just ingested this, you're still probably highly ignorant of the situation or the topic at hand. True. So you didn't speak as if it was gospel. Nowadays, even if you're a single mom or if you're Derek or if you got a family, we still make the time because it don't take any time. We can look right at our phone and get whatever news we want. So now it feels like we feel like we almost do feel like we did the research, that we do know what we're talking about because I looked at several posts
or I watched a 20-minute video.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Rogan talked about it for an hour and a half.
And now my feed is I'm constantly getting fed. I watched several 20-minute videos over the last hour or 3 hours. I've ingested all this content. I do know what I'm talking about. I am an expert now, and now it's like we've lost that level of being ignorant.
Yeah,
right? And you can't be ignorant. I still can't fathom in politics why you can't just say, I got it wrong. I don't know. Like, somehow we are in this political landscape where you can never admit that you screwed up. And I don't understand that.
That's
I
not
feel
just
like
politics. That's where we are in life now, man. If you think about it, nobody likes being.
real.
I think the issue right now is nobody likes being wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong.
Nobody wants to be
because
wrong,
they
but
think they're
we
going to
all
get clowned
are.
down and we all are. But I think people are more concerned about being right than they are.
Absolutely.
Than they are about anything else.
Yeah, they're more concerned about being right than getting it right.
Yeah. That's the thing. They're more concerned of
politicians do this?
It's
Why
not
can't
even,
they?
but it's not even politicians either. It's not just politicians. Rather,
yeah.
it's everyone. It's every influencer. It's mostly every content creator. It's everything. This. It comes down to authenticity and being genuine.
Yes.
I have no problem with somebody that may have believed something nefarious 10 years ago and has done the research or whatever, has done the work and been like, you know what, I was wrong. My bad. I said some fucked up shit.
Yes.
I said this before on an episode about masculinity. When I was younger, I used to drop the F word all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be homophobic all the time. I was wrong.
Same, bro.
I was an idiot.
Like I grew up in the
you
South.
grow
Like
up, you're like, damn, that was
wrong.
pretty fucked up.
Yeah, don't say that word. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's not. Don't use that language. Oh,
Right.
I don't think that anymore. It's not
No.
a sin. Like, what do you mean? This is a sin, or it's wrong. It's against this, or it's immoral, or whatever you want to assign to whatever other people live in them like they're not harming me. I don't care.
No, and I appreciate that. That's genuine. That means you put in the work.
Yeah, yes.
But most people don't want that. And I'm not saying you and I don't want that because I'm just saying
affirmation.
Everybody's like, yo, I can't prove them wrong. It's like, yo, you know how much growth that shows? Like, all of it, like for example, there's the politician that's running for Senate in Maine, Graham Plattner. Okay, Graham Plattner had said a bunch of stuff on like Reddit thread in like 2010. He was in the military. He was all this. He was like, yo, I'm a straight up commie now. Like, fuck that. I've been to Afghanistan. I don't like what this country's doing. So they called him out on it. They're like, yo, you're a fucking of course, the Republicans are trying to drag him. They're like, oh, you're a communist and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yo, man, I said that shit 15 years ago. He was like, at the time, I was hurt. I was suffering from PTSD from being sent overseas. Like, I don't believe that. Am I a super like socialist lefty? Absolutely, but like I'm not a communist. Blah blah. And it's like, yo, thanks. Don't deny that you didn't say it, bro. We got your whole shit. That's not true.
There. That's not what I said.
Yeah,
that's not what I meant. Like, no, we're looking at this shit.
We're looking at it, and it's like, I think people, and I've said this before, and I've even said this to you. People crave authenticity. And this is part of the reason I'm going to toot our horn here. Me and Herb started this podcast. We just want to be authentic. We don't want to do something for clicks. We don't want to do clickbait or anything like that. People seek authenticity. Now, the problem is that authenticity takes a while to sink in for people to appreciate it.
Or to realize.
Or to realize, oh, this feels right.
Yep.
And people, we live in an instant satisfaction world that people are like, I'll look at that later. I'll do it later. But what hits right now gives instant dopamine is the clickbait, is the rage bait. Oh, this person punched this person. This person called this person a bitch. So people go for that first. And so this authenticity stuff doesn't seep in. And so people are like, politicians, everyone, they're like, nah, I'm just not going to necessarily be authentic, even though I want to, but I'm just going to go say the craziest shit ever.
Yeah, because that's what gives me the clicks and the views.
I'm going to go deny that I did XYZ back then, even though it's on camera, because people are going to be like, I can't believe this line. This guy's crazy. But you know what? Bad publicity is better than no publicity.
Which is unfortunate. And I guess we see what the issue is. Is there a tipping point? Do you think it changes and where we go to I guess there's a fork in the road. Do we go right, and we curb this, and we try to get back to a place of valuing facts, authenticity, or with AI and technology, do we go left? And authenticity is hard to even locate, so because you're flooded with so much bullshit. Like, how do you find a needle in a haystack?
Dude, I don't know. I can't predict the future necessarily. Fully, I can't give you an accurate prediction. I don't think this is going to end well, and I've been saying this for a very long time. And maybe not end. And maybe end is a bit of a strong word, but like this isn't going to go well for a lot of us.
We're going to need a stern course
correction.
correction.
And I don't know how that's going to happen. I genuinely don't know what that would look like, how it would happen. What I can say, and what I've been trying to embody, just the past couple of weeks, is the understanding that I can't control everything out there.
Right.
I can't control you.
Right.
I can't control what you think, what you say, how you act, how you react to things that I say.
Right.
What I can control is myself.
Right.
And if we're able to get more people like you and I, people that watch this, to be better personally, that has a ripple effect. And you being better personally might inspire someone next to you to be better. And then someone next to them be better. And you can have immediate influence on your immediate circle. I think that's the only way out of this.
It's like the whole be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, and it sounds corny, but like it's corny, it's whatever, sappy, but like honestly, like I really don't know what else to do. And until we get more people to realize that, right? Because then you start having this ripple effect, and then you start getting a larger and larger group of people being like, "Oh shit! Like this is a different way. This is what it is."
Yeah.
It's hard. Like it's hard. I don't know. Like I don't see how, especially with the media stuff. I don't know how we change that.
Yeah.
You know, without banding together. And right now we're more
when
divided
you look
than ever.
behind the content, I mean, the people that's, the platforms that we're, the main ones that we leverage when it comes to news and content, I mean, they're all, again, we got back to it, like, they're all owned by the same people. So it's like,
it's getting nefarious. I mean, look what just happened. Paramount Plus just bought fucking CBS.
Yep.
Paramount Plus is owned by Larry Ellison's fucking, and the president of it is his son. I forgot what his name is. A bunch of fucking the biggest Zionist
people,
pieces of shit in the fucking world. And now they run a shit. They got Barry Weiss in there running
he
all
was
the
a fucking
Barry Weiss is a lesbian woman, married obviously to another woman, but the conservatives and people like Larry Ellison love her because they like to say, "Oh no, we're not conservative. Look, we have a lesbian on our side."
Like
It's
the token.
it's the token. And she literally tips their head by. She was a big writer for the New York Times, and then she kind of revolted because she started talking about all these woke liberals are doing this. That was like her ploy.
Crazy,
so obviously these billionaires love her, so they bring her on, and then turns out her wife is in the Epstein files.
Oh, that makes sense then.
And so does it not make sense?
Yeah, man. They're all in. This is what it boils down to.
No.
They all in the files.
They all in the files, bro.
The sooner we get all these files out, that's when we can get to. Yeah,
That's a good point. We get them out,
we get these files out.
but even then, even if we do, because we know some names, we already know people. We can start prosecuting people now, and ain't shit happening, dog. Ain't nothing. We got names, we got evidence. Ain't nothing happening.
Not now. We got it. I mean, or are we talking like in 3 years, or are we talking about in like 2 decades when the story comes out, like Watergate or something? Like what?
Imagine Watergate was this crazy ass scandal. All it was a couple people broke into the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah, trying
to get some files.
Yeah,
like about like who they were fundraising for, like who they were
trying to get
like,
some information.
That's it.
Yeah,
and that was the biggest scandal where Nixon literally was like, "I gotta go." He got impeached, and he was like, "I'm resigning before everything."
Yeah,
and now we got these motherfuckers. We uncovered a billionaire, pedophile cabal. Mm-hmm. And everyone, that's going on. No one's talking about articles of impeachment. There are some Democrats that are, but like everyone's like, this shit's crazy.
And they're not gonna. They don't want to give it to. They literally are breaking the law that they literally just, I guess, created, put on paper, however you want to say it, passed, and it's like, I mean, what's gonna? Okay, so I did it, and what? Like, just think if you can just get away with murder, like.
That's what it is.
How dangerous people are going to be. Like,
and they have.
You don't think they're going to murder again if you're just going to let them get away with the first time? Come on, like that's like a known, like a human psychology type thing. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. It's crazy. And so look,
the more
media
we have,
is
the worse it is.
Media is one of the legs on the stool, right? One of the legs to indoctrinate people.
Yes.
And and to make them believe that the world is on fire for different reasons. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, I mean, think about all the manufactured. Think about everything that's manufactured that they make you believe. This is one of the things that pisses me off the most, and this is what Fox News and conservative media would love for you to think. They love for you to think that trans people are the reason why this country's fucked up.
Immigrants.
And they want to think, I don't want any guys playing in sports. And they want to ask you the question, you believe in men playing in sports? And it's like, if you say anything like, how dare you? And it's like, it's crazy. And then it's like, this shit's not relevant.
Yeah.
They're like, I care about it, though. And we're not talking about if you care about it or not. We're talking about how relevant is it to your everyday life.
No.
How about getting food on the table? How about affordable housing? How about healthcare? How about education? How about good jobs?
Yeah.
Those are things we need to be worried about. Those are the real things we need to worry about. Not about a trans athlete. There's
that ain't
less.
What the billionaire smart person told me to worry about.
Exactly, but I got to worry about that. That's impediment on me. That's an impeding on my life.
Or
and
these
it's
free benefits that the illegal aliens got up in New York City. They were putting them up in hotels and stuff, man.
It's crazy.
And I'm over in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm just going to work in a factory, and they giving all my money to these illegal immigrants in New York City. Yeah, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go spend my money out at the bar, or I'm gonna do all whatever I want to do. But it's like these have no impact on your life you're gaslighting it, and it's like.
But the news will make you believe.
Oh
that
yeah,
that's the case.
absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
the
me,
news,
it's them.
yeah.
Because these, as we mentioned, these billionaires are the ones that own these
They own
news
these companies now,
corporations.
yeah.
So it's like, don't look at me, look at them.
That's it.
Don't look at me, look at them.
Yeah,
Don't look at me.
this is real famous meme. Real famous. It's one that I really like. I'll put it up here too, where it's literally this billionaire rich guy on top of like a big pile of cookies, and there's this white guy here with one cookie and a black guy on this side of the table with no cookies, and the billionaire's looking at the white guy and going, "Be careful, that guy might take your cookie."
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this guy's got 100,000.
I gotta protect my cookie.
And this
That's
guy's
who's
got
gonna
one,
come
and
for
he's
my
saying the
cookie.
black guy's gonna take your cookie.
Yeah, but like, how many cookies did he take to get this power
Right,
right here?
right.
Who did he get them cookies from?
Right.
Like, I mean, we went over the whole saying a few episodes ago where, if you
Lyndon
give
B. Johnson.
Yeah. If you give him a person to look down, give a white man a colored person to look down on, he'll empty his pockets. Hell, you give him somebody to. Or you give him a colored person to blame, he'll empty his pockets for you.
Yeah.
We'll get the same, but still,
I do struggle right now with the words.
but it still goes back to that whole mindset. Don't look at me, look at them over there. That's your problem. That's your problem. The whole illegal immigrants coming across. That's your problem over there. Like, oh no, the Iranians. That's an immediate, imminent danger to your everyday life. That's your problem. But don't worry about what I got going on over here. And
yeah, it's a scary thing. Look, here's the reality.
distraction.
The news nowadays with the 24-hour news cycle, we were never meant to know that. We were never meant to have that. It's a lot for our brains. It's overwhelming. And now, particularly nowadays where we have a regime that's constantly throwing shit against the wall every day, it's a new thing. It can get overwhelming.
Yes.
Don't get burned out, right?
Yeah.
As people who are supposed to be adults, we don't really know I don't know what to do with my hands half the time. I'm like this, what do I do with my hands? But like, yo, take your breaks. Take your breaks. Seriously, take your breaks. On Monday morning, I woke up grumpy as fuck. I woke up mad. I was like tired, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I kind of sat with it, and I was like, oh, everything going on in the world, the unfortunate shooting that happened in Austin this weekend at a place that Herb and I used to frequent a lot. Like, we was out there all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Now, granted, we didn't go out there anymore, but horrible. What's going on in Iran?
If we would have been out, we would have been out there.
We would have been there. We were just there fucking in December.
Yeah.
We were just there.
We would have been
walking by. We didn't go into that bar.
Yeah.
But we were right
Still.
down the street walking by.
You know how I feel about that area. That's Mecca to me.
Yeah.
That's home. Yeah.
That's it. So like, and everything going on in Iran, there's still a genocide going on in Palestine. Let's not forget about that. You got the Epstein files. You got the
Just keep flooding you.
They flood you. And so I woke up grumpy, and when I sat with it, I realized that was it. And I said, you know what? Today I'm going to do without news. I don't watch any of mainstream media anymore. Haven't done that in a while. Fucking hate it. I actually put on MSN Now yesterday for a little bit. I don't know why. I was trying to. Oh, it was on yesterday, Wednesday, because I was trying to look at the results. It was Tuesday night of the results of the elections here.
Yes.
And I was seeing what they were talking about, bro. I almost fucking poked my ears to bleed. And that's supposed to be a liberal leaning fucking thing. I was like,
yes.
what the fuck are these idiots talking about?
Yeah.
They had on fucking John McCarthy, the ex Speaker of the House that got ousted recently. They had him on there just talking. Is it John McCarthy, Mike McCarthy? I can't fucking remember because I keep thinking Mike McCarthy.
Is Mike, or no, that's
Mike McCarthy's the coach. The coach. That's why I get
yeah.
confused. Whatever his name is. And I'm just like stabbing my ears at how nonchalant they are about the problems of the world. And what the fuck is going on? I don't watch that shit anymore. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust MSN Now. I don't trust any of those motherfuckers. I certainly don't trust Fox. I do go on YouTube, and I get a lot of my shit from political commentators on YouTube who I know have Kevin McCarthy. There we go. Who I know have integrity. Yeah. And who I vetted out, who I've been watching for a few years now, and I know they have integrity because I know they are left leaning, 100%. I'm not gonna deny. You guys know that I'm left leaning, but I know that they're speaking the truth and that they're not doing shit for clickbait. Yep. One of my favorite guys is Secular Talks, Kyle Kalinske. Love that guy. He does not take any ad money from any agency. He only gets paid directly from YouTube for the amount of views he gets and for the amount of subscribers he gets. So the only ads that come up are the ones that YouTube throws in there, but he does no ad reads. He does none of that.
Right.
And he says it all the time. He's like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm beholden to any corporation about the shit that I say, that I'm censored.
If I'm paying you, you work for me.
Exactly.
If I give you the money, you work for me. Yeah.
There's a bunch of left-leaning dudes that I used to follow that I don't anymore like that. Brian Tyler Cohen. I don't follow that motherfucker anymore. David Pacman. I don't follow that motherfucker anymore. Like, there's people that I don't follow because they take money.
They took the money.
They took the money.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are Zionists.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't speak
Yeah.
about it when it came up in
Yes.
Palestine. So I'm like, nah, that's a line in the sand for me.
Yes. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I try to curate.
But if they did, they're gonna get a shadow ban. You know,
Right.
either. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
how to,
You can get your news from us though.
Yeah.
But like,
Trust
I'm
us.
just saying, like, it's hard out there, right? And so we always come back to, as we come to adults, like, how do we manage it? That's how. That's my advice to y'all, but I don't know what you think. What are your thoughts? What do you
Man,
think?
bro,
How do you do
honestly,
it? 'Cause I know you watch Fox News because you think it's
all
funny.
the time, bro. All day, every day, bro. I love the Five. I watch it. Fox and Friends, I love it, bro.
Poor Jessica Tarlov, even though she's
I
a
don't know how
fucking
she does
Zionist
it.
asshole
I
too.
don't know how she does it, but she does have to
She
listen.
gets paid a lot, bro.
Yeah,
She gets paid a lot.
Again, take the money.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just feel like, man, I try to take it with a grain of salt and understand this is pure entertainment.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
All they
It's true.
care about is ratings. I mean, hell, look at the person that's leading. How he trashes the networks, and the first thing he's going to bring up is low ratings.
Yeah.
Low ratings.
Yep.
Low ratings, because he knows that's all. It's entertainment. That's the only thing that
good
matters
point.
is the ratings.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's a good point. Herb brings up a good point about accepting what it is that's in front of you. And what he's saying is, guys, it's just entertainment. It's not news.
Yeah.
Don't. So if you're if you're gonna watch it, but just don't take it as news. It's just entertainment. It's opinion.
Yeah. If you want to get news, you got to do some research. You're gonna have to go out there
Good
and
point.
put in
I
the
like that.
effort. But like, if you're gonna be watching these, I mean, I watch Morning Joe every morning. And I understand, like, bro, it's entertainment, bro. It's entertainment, and I just.
Mika.
I like
His
Mika.
boo.
Yeah. I don't understand that relationship, but yeah, you know.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
I
so-
used to watch them religiously when I worked at the senator's office in D.C. Morning Joe has been on for years.
Oh yeah, I've
almost
been
20
watching
years.
since Obama. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I got on it.
And I liked him.
06.
I used to like him.
But probably like
I was
06.
like, oh, this guy was a Republican. He was a congressman from Florida, blah, blah, and he's coming. Now he's a little. Anyways.
Exactly. Yep.
But to your point, you can't fight it all. And so just accepting what's in front of you for what it is, taking everything with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Okay? And,
Yeah.
a healthy skepticism.
Yep.
But when you're presented with facts that have been verified, take those facts.
Yeah.
what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
It's not saying there's not any facts in the news. You're
Right.
gonna have to, do.
You're
something.
just going to have to sift through it,
Like
and it's
a
unfortunate.
gold miner out here trying to sift for gold and shit. That's essentially what you're figuratively what you're gonna have to be doing is just sifting for the little gold that's in these nuggets that they have right there. But it ain't much.
Yeah, the we're talking about Joe Scarborough or something like that, right?
Like Morning Joe, and just how, like, again, just taking the news and understanding, what it is, taking it for what it is, and understanding, like, if you're looking for the truth,
You got to sift through a
you're
lot of
gonna have to just do the research on your own, and that sucks because, like you said, man, you don't have the time. Like, and that even goes in. They, like you said, they know that. Like,
They
you
know
work,
that. They do
you
it on
put
purpose.
In 40 hours. You put in an 8-hour shift, 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift, whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden you got to come home and take care of your kids, family, house, dog, whatever that may be. You don't have time to try to figure out what is real and what is ain't. You turn on whatever it is your confirmation bias is going to be, and that's what you're going to take as, this is the news for today. This is the world news. This is my local news. This is what the truth is. And that, unfortunately, that might not be the case, and they know that. I'm just going to keep flooding you.
I'm not even gonna say anymore. I think you laid it out perfectly with that conclusion. Then, so I appreciate that. Was a well put, well said. Let us know what you think. How do you guys consume
How do you get your
news?
news?
Do you guys think it's trustworthy? Where do you get your news, and what do you think is most trustworthy?
Outside of here.
Outside of us, obviously, because we are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And
So
when
help you
I'm
God.
wrong, I'm going to come over here and tell you I was wrong. And that can happen a lot.
Not I. Anywho, Herb, man, I appreciate that discussion and conversation. But let's get into some of our fun facts. I think we're just gonna call them fun facts from now on.
I like that.
Man,
I like that.
I just
I like
love like ending on a light note, fun
little
facts.
nugget.
But I'm gonna kick it over to you. Let me see what you got for the crew.
It's so funny because I was just telling you at the beginning, this is such an outdated technology, but we still use it today. Area codes. Do you know how they were created and how they were assigned?
I actually did know this, and now I can't remember because I remember we were talking about this when it came to. Yeah, it had something to do with the phone books or something like that.
Well, yeah, the rotary phone.
Uh-huh.
So what they did was cities that had largest populations, they would assign a lower number so that whenever you're doing the rotary, it'd be really quick.
Oh, it's because of the rotary phone. It was based
Y'all,
on.
who even out there even knows how to use a rotary phone? That might be my next one. But anyways, so that's why we get, like, New York, I think, has like 212. You make it really fast to be able to make. LA has 213. Chicago has 312.
I didn't
so
know
that's
that.
why it was like that.
Are there any ones that start with one?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up.
Because I don't think I've ever seen an area code
But
that starts
the
with
middle
1.
digit is either 0 or 1, and based on size or the type of state that you come from is going to dictate whether you have that 1 in the middle or the 0 in the middle, so that back in the day when they were connecting the calls, they knew where this next connection was going to be to. For instance, my growing up was 501, and typically states that had 0.
Mine's 401. Rhode Island's 401.
States that had single area codes for the whole state.
Yep, Rhode Island.
Was growing up 501. That's
401,
Arkansas,
all Rhode Island.
Everybody, the whole state.
You're 501, we're 401? That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
I'm 401. Rhode Island's all 401, baby.
Yep. Those states had the single area codes had 0s. The states that had multiple area codes had 1. So that's how they went about assigning those.
You know what that makes me think of? When Ludacris came out, I Got Hoes. In different area codes.
Yeah.
And weren't you always waiting for your area code? Like, is my area code going to
Do you want
little kid being like, we got hoes in Rhode Island, too. Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Not put the 501 in there. I don't think we made the cut.
The fact that I wanted there to be hoes in Rhode Island is terrible.
Of course.
I was like in high school.
My state. I need to have some hoes out here. And you know, Derek was getting all the hoes in high school. You know, go back and listen to all of them.
I didn't talk to any girls in high school. It was bad, bro. I'm over here being like, where's 401 at?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a really good fun fact. I like that, man, because I think what I like more was the fact that you're 501 and we're 401. I don't know why.
I didn't even know that either.
Yeah,
I'm from the 501. Everybody already knows the 501 around here, baby.
Hey, we're brother states. We're brother states.
Get that tattoo on me. All right.
That's fun. That's a good one. I appreciate that. That's good. All right. Well, I think I have just submitted to the fact that I'm just gonna my facts are always gonna be space facts. Like
we're gonna get to the space.
I just get way too excited about this shit. So I actually wanted to talk about the one of the biggest discovered black holes ever.
Okay.
There's 2 of them, and this one's technically the second biggest one. The other one just came out that is much more massive. But for all of you that don't know, there are different categories of black holes. There are stellar black holes. Stellar black holes are black holes that are remnants of collapsed massive stars.
Okay.
So stellar black holes, and I'll put it up here. I don't have it up in front of me right now.
Okay.
Can be anywhere between, let me see, size, categories of black holes. Stellar mass formed from the collapse of massive stars at the end of their life cycle. Then you have, and those are anywhere between like 4 and like 100 times the size of the sun.
Yeah,
and they just collapse.
I know. I just thinking about, because I know when you say the size and space of these black holes, it's like, oh yeah, these little black holes, yeah, they ain't nothing but like millions of light years across, like like that type of stuff. So,
well, the stellar mass holes, like think of our sun. Our sun is the most massive. Our sun is 99.8% of the mass of our solar system, meaning that all of our
like
planets,
millions of Earths that can fit in the sun.
Oh yeah, 1.3 million.
Yeah, okay.
And that means that all of the other stuff, all of the planets, all the asteroids and the comets in our solar system make up like 0.2%.
And the sun is the rest of it.
The sun is the rest of it. And our sun is an average small star.
Yeah, we don't have no big ass sun. Them ain't swinging like the rest of these suns
Nah, it's not that big.
Big sun
so when we're talking about a stellar mass, like for example, when our sun collapses, eventually dies, it's not going to turn into a black hole. It's not big enough.
Really?
It's not big enough. It's going to supernova. It's going to explode.
So
it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up in 5 billion years, meaning it's going to go blow up. They think it'll swallow Earth and maybe not Mars. So it's going to get that big in that orbit. And then it'll blow up. Stellar mass black holes are black holes. They're stars that have to be at least like 3x the size of Earth, up to I think 100. I'm not seeing it here, but I will get those facts here. Then you have supermassive black holes. Supermassive black holes are millions to billions of times the mass of the sun.
Yes.
So, for example, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, Sagittarius star A, that's 4 million solar masses. So that means 4 million suns.
Yes.
Collapse into a black hole, right? Yeah. That sits at the center of our galaxy. Okay?
Yeah, I could comprehend that.
And that's pretty fucking huge. However,
that's not
one of the largest black holes, Ton 618. Ton 618 has a mass of 66 billion solar masses.
You can't and this exists within. I look at it 2 ways. How massive? I guess the mass isn't necessarily are we talking size or are we just talking?
No, I'm talking mass. The actual mass.
That dictates like the gravitational pull, right?
Yeah. So I'll talk a little bit about the size. Now, to put this into perspective, what A black hole is when there are objects or an object so massive that the gravity that it has collapses in itself. And it turns into a single singularity point where no light can escape.
Yep.
Okay? Yep. So, for example, for stars, our sun is so massive, it's constantly wanting to collapse on its own gravity. The reason why it doesn't is because of fusion, nuclear fusion going on at the core of it. Because it's so hot in there, hydrogen is being burnt. And when it's being burnt and nuclear fusion is happening, it's the energy being spewed out by that nuclear fusion is enough to counterweight the weight of the gravity that's being pushed in.
Like
so it's in a perfect balance.
Yes.
The gravity's pushing in,
Yeah.
nuclear fusion is pushing out.
Yep.
And that keeps the sun where it's at.
Yep.
Eventually, we're going to run out of hydrogen and we're going to stop burning carbon.
Yeah.
We're going to start going down until we get to a point where it's iron, and iron, you can't burn it enough. You can't get to high enough temperatures to burn it, and that's when the gravity will be too much and it'll collapse on itself. But when you get to a sun that's a star or any sort of matter that's more massive than that, you will create a black hole.
Yeah.
Where the gravity is stronger than any sort of explosion that can happen, and it'll create this black hole.
Yeah.
Okay? So for this one, ton 618, 66 billion solar mass, the event horizon is the point at which light can no longer escape. Because you can orbit a black hole if you're far enough. Once you cross that line, you're no longer escaping. Okay? But that's not the singularity. The singularity is in the middle, which is where everything goes in there. So for this one, the event horizon, all right, for ton 618 is 400 billion miles wide, or 1,300 astronomical units. We can't comprehend what that means. So what does that mean? An astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the sun.
Right.
This motherfucker is 1,300 astronomical units wide. For example, from the sun to Neptune, the outermost planet in our solar system, that's 30 astronomical units.
Oh, okay.
The Voyager spacecrafts, the man-made spacecrafts that have traveled the furthest outside of our solar system, that have been traveling since 1977 and 1978, have traveled 170 astronomical units in 45 years.
Okay.
This black hole, the event horizon, how wide it is 1,300 astronomical units. So you can fit 30 solar systems, our solar systems, into that, and it's 66 billion solar masses.
I mean, obviously you can't fathom that.
The amount of gravity this motherfucker has I don't even know how to explain how it's unfathomable. It's unfathomable.
What I hear from the other part of that I hear from that and how massive this is just how massive the universe is. This is just like sits out there. Like it ain't like this like taking up the grand like the percentage of the universe that this takes.
Not
up.
even close.
As
it's a tiny little thing.
Is,
yeah.
It's just right there. It's just it's a dot in a comparative. It's a grain of sand and speaking in comparative to the universe.
Yeah.
And that's just like again just like and it's out there. It really is out there, and we'll never we won't know much about what's out there. But the fact that these are out there and it may be Derek's out there and her making a podcast, millions of light years away that we don't even know.
Yeah.
And it's just something to fathom. But that's crazy.
The ton 618 is approximately 10.5 billion light years away from Earth. But we can see it. We detected it.
That is crazy too, though, that we can detect this and see it. And
what we're detecting too is its gravity and the light that bends around it.
Yes.
From 10.8 billion years ago. We don't even know if it's there now, where it is, what it's doing, because it's so far. Like we won't know.
That's the part that just fathoms me is that there's things that are going on out there and we're seeing light that's not what that is anymore.
That's not what it is anymore. That's not what it looks like anymore
at all. And that's even to our neighbors, like that ain't even what it looks like anymore. And that's crazy.
I'm just so, by the way, the biggest black hole supposedly they said they found is Phoenix A, which is apparently 100 billion solar masses. I didn't even go into that. There's been a lot of controversy on whether that's verified or not. Okay. That's why I brought up ton 618, which has been verified. Yeah. But I'm going to stop there because we're an hour and 5 minutes in.
Man, we nerd out on that long. Okay. Man,
I'm having an existential crisis now.
I'm ready to do our quantum, I guess, physics or our space episode, and then that may be like a 3-hour.
Yo, that might have to be a live stream. All right, yo, we appreciate y'all, dog. All right, we did it again.